Hey there, welcome back. Maurice here, and today we have Dave the Diver and 30 tips and tricks how you can enjoy most out of the game. So I have finished it and I'll give you everything I know so far. Always timestamps, you can scroll down in the description, everything is shown, written, you can read it if you want to. But we are jumping in the game. There will be 30 tips and tricks. Last 6, I think, are including the majors. Basically, there will be spoilers at the end. I will warn about them. First 25 are spoiler free as much as I can, so you can discover everything for yourself. And we are jumping right at the start in the water, and first tips will be underwater. So I am advising to go for high rank big fish, and what it means are two things at once. For example, these red ones, the fish that come in pack, they are the small ones, so obviously they're clearly small. But not only that, every single fish in the game also has a rank. If you capture any of them and press escape, you can find rank here. It's rank 1. They come from 1 to 9. 9 is the highest, and yeah, go for higher rank because they are better, more expensive. And when you are talking why I mentioned big, I'll try to find one big. There should be some big fish as well. Yeah, those tuna, that counts, but I was wanted to show you something bigger, and there's always these big sharks and all those things. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. That is exactly what I was talking about. So go for these because they have a lot of meat. You see this number? This also shows how much dish you can prepare from this one. So find the highest rank, and the bigger fish will have absolutely best fish. Which comes to the point number 2 is don't go nuts killing and going explosives and all that thing. Go for capturing live. The live fish will have the best. Let me try to demonstrate it to you. The best rank and rating. I think these can be also killed. So you see, when I smashed with a melee weapon, not only explosives but going melee, I have 1 star. So this is the worst possible rating. There's 1 meat in this. If you capture it with harpoon, it's already better, it's 2nd rating. But the 3rd one you capture with net or with tranquilizing guns, or you can do that also with manual. There's one weapon that tranquilizes them, but any other shape or form when you capture it alive will be 3 star and will be the most meat out of it. So do that, please. Tip number 3 is pick everything. I am showing you the things. What I'm talking about picking is the ones that lay around, the seashells, the especially fragments. At the start it seems like you don't need them, but later on in the game you basically need every single one of the items. Also let's try to find also there's also food, the greens, the grass and all that kind of stuff, corals that you need to smash and pick. There will be quests, basically. If you're talking about every kind of collectibles and everything, yep, you will have them as well. And basically every item later on in the game will be required. Trust me on this. But one thing I am advising is skipping food. I'll try to find this. This is really nasty. This is the big one. This is the really nasties. But food is the red cattle. Red cattle is the item. It's often around. Of course, when I need one, there's none. But there's always a salt or olive oil or some kind of items there. You will have them as well. That thing, why I'm advising to skip it, is because you need to spend quite a lot of time opening it up, and there's always some item in it. I'm just ignoring them. And these items, the thing is, they are required for special dish. If you're going to use those spices, then it means you are basically doomed, because you need to provide with these unique items. You can't get that all the time, which means you will be picking up. It's a lot of hassle. That's what I'm trying to sell. It's a lot. Yeah, this one. This is the red cattle I was talking about. Skip them. My advice is just skip them. All right. Next is, we will come back to the previous point. You'll see it's also come together with overall strategy. Throwing away trash. When you find some good item, for example, oh, there's a copper ore, I want to pick it up, and there's no room left. Pressing escape and now bringing up everything you picked up. At this point, the game is paused, so don't worry about that. For example, these fried egg jellyfish, they are absolutely lowest rating, but that's 2 kilograms spent right there. Selecting them, and for example, I don't know, this I don't need as well. You can check what you want to discard, and then selecting discard. Now I freed up a lot more space. I realized it too late, because the fish will attack you. You basically kill it in any means necessary, and then if you don't need that fish particular, just throw it out. It's no harm. So do that. That's my advice. Tip number 6 is dash all the time. You've seen already me doing this. This is how dash looks like. It's weird naming because it's actually like running. It's basically speeding all the time. And my advice, do that. Why? Because at the first few missions, when you don't have upgrades and everything, you will have a little too low oxygen. The thing is, you way faster fill up your backpack, and that will be the reason you're going away, not the air running out. Because air, if you are checking these boxes, for example, that you also should open, there are a lot of items that provide survivable abilities, the air, this movement speed and such things. So this is an example how to capture live fish. So for example, if you want the highest rating, fine, I'll demonstrate you how to capture the live fish. Just need to wait puffer fish to stop. Boom, that's it, done. 3-star rating, and if you check, 3 meat instead of 2. Quite awesome. All right, next step, what we have is big fish hate small caves. That's good. I have found this one. So all the big fish in the game that will attack you and all that, they have huge models. They have big. They hate, for example, this little corner around. For you, it takes few button presses, but for them, it's quite harder to navigate. And if you find such places, this is basically, you can use, and my advice is abuse it. So the fish is here, then you can make a round, and the fish, when it turns around and comes back, you are already out and finished it. So that's the trick, how to survive big fish attacks, especially the start. Done it many times. So next is more side to side. If you have noticed, you can shoot only at these angles, which means you cannot shoot above you. So that automatically basically means, but I need to mention it as well here, whenever you have a fight, for example, see, I have an option to go upwards, but then I can do nothing to the fish if it arrives from this. So what you want to do is come from the sides and then go because they are slow, and you see, it's in my attacking range, then I'm going side to side in attacking range, and again in attacking range. That's basically the movement from side to side is the one you want to proceed all the time, every time, all the time. All right. Next up, we have Tranquilizing Harpoon is the best. So this is the thing you can't control. I already opened few weapon boxes. We had no luck, but I'm just telling you to keep an eye if there's one. Okay, I don't need this one, they're just messing my recording. So in these boxes, when you dive down, you will be introduced to it. Sometimes they drop some special, I have crazy weapons, let's ignore them. But you can upgrade your harpoon, and the best is tranquilizing. Why? Because once you have tranquilizing effect, I'll actually can demonstrate that this on tuna. They are quite, you see, I have an effect on that one tuna, it slows down because I have slowing harpoon. But once you have tranquilizing, there's a chance when you hit a fish, it will just go on sleep. Once it's on sleep, you can pick it up. That's basically how you can capture live fish. And pay attention, just if you have a chance to grab a tranquilizing harpoon upgrade, go for it. It's absolutely the best, and that's what you want most of your time. Now I realize that I will squeeze one bonus as well. I'm just realized I haven't written it anywhere. I just picked up the item you see right here. This is the one, the oxygen tank. It has 50 on it. It does not mean it gives you 50 air. Like example, you see in the corner, I have full upgrade, 240 I have at the moment, this one. It gives you 50%. So don't think like, oh, I have spent 50 oxygen, I need to, no. Look when you have half of it. So when you have highly upgraded air tank, this will benefit you way more. This yellow oxygen tank, it gives you half. So if you have two of them, it basically can replenish you full air. That's a bonus tip. I just realized I don't have that in my list. So let's move on with the list. We have ignore prompts. So this is something hard to, but no, it will be hard to demonstrate it to you, because once you have a fish to low health, but it is strong enough, you see it just dies, sorry. Because I have fully upgraded harpoon, it's really hard to show how it happens. Okay, I'm not going to do that. So what happens is, you will have that all the time, especially at the start when you don't have it all upgraded. And the thing is, it prompts like some inputs, like if you click on a spacebar or A and D buttons or something like that, the prompt basically is asking, if you do it correctly and win this mini game, the fish will be captured. Once you capture it with harpoon, it will be 2 stars. And especially when you have tranquilizing harpoon, you don't want that to happen. Basically, you hit with the harpoon and you wait for these 40, 45, 50% chance for tranquilizing harpoon to put it on sleep mode. Yeah. So which means you don't want that. You see that the corner for the sharky shark, it's way harder. Yep, lost it. So that's how you get away. So what I'm saying is, you don't want that mini game to be win when you have a tranquilizing gun, which means you just shoot, and then if it pops up the input, you just ignore that prompt. Which means you are not catching the fish is out there again, even if it's angry fish. You just shoot again. Wait until the tranquilizing effect kicks in and the fish will automatically will be on sleep, and the mini game is over, and then you just grab the fish. That's absolutely what you want to do when you have tranquilizing or any other effect you want to trigger for that example. Let's move on. I'm spending too much time on every single things. So now we are at the point with returning these full banks. I will not be able to demonstrate it right now, because you see I have fully upgraded banks at the corner, left corner, 185. This is the absolute maximum. I have huge, but the thing is, once you reach that point, however big your these banks are, you will be slowed down, but you can go above the number, and only when you have a yellow box that is crossed, that means you cannot pick up anything, then and only then you want to go back to the ship. And reason for that is quite simple. Remember, everything you pick up, you will be selling, and once you sell the items, if you have full banks, you have way more to sell. more money to make. That's basically the reason why only, especially at the start of the game and the middle of the game, go back when you have full banks. That means, yeah, you get the idea. So now let's switch gears to the upper world. We are now in the sushi, and here my advice: upgrade common dish. And what's the tip about is don't upgrade the really special. So the common is, let me just go down a little bit with the starting fish. Common fish is, for example, you see one fish that's the required for the dish, and just, yeah, that's what you can, you know, sell, capture a fish, sell the fish, simple as that. And upgrade these. Why? Because so the tip basically mostly is about, if you have a chance to sell or upgrade, my general advice is push for the upgrade. Why? Because once you enhance and upgrade, you sell for higher. Of course it costs you. I have to spend 51 fish to upgrade from level 8 to level, but in return you have, from now on, you will have every single fish, this dish sold higher. And in general, it's just, you know, you will be pushed and you will have to have higher price for every single item. So the faster you get there, you upgrade and upgrade and upgrade them. So don't just sit on them like, no, it's 31 is enough. No, go with higher. That's the general advice. Because I'm seeing all this jumping ahead, and skip the special fish. So special dish. And special is, I'll find to define. Special is something like, for example, this. It requires a fish, but it also requires a salt. You see, I have 16 salt acquired. 16 dish, basically, it's just 1/3 of my evening sales kind of records. And yes, it sells good and all that, but keep in mind that to enhance, to upgrade it, you also need a salt. So you need to find these unique items from these red kettles to upgrade, so the price is reasonable, and then even more to. This puts you in a bad position where you are just not even enjoying the game, but rushing for those red kettles. Skip them. My advice: it's way faster, way more fun to go for fish, upgrade these common dishes, and sell them instead of these. Just, you know, my advice, take it or leave it. Then next up we have go for pricey dish. So this is a general, whenever you make a today's menu, whatever food you have, here at the top, I think at the start it's by obtained or something like that. So go for the price, just order by the price. And now the general rule is, now you have the most priciest item at the top. And as you can see, it actually is something I can sell, just cucumbers. But for example, this is the meat I will put in my menu. Why? I have it already maxed out. It means this is the cap. So now every single piece of this meat will go only in this one dish. So obviously I want that. I can sell 5. Yes, of course, one added extra. So next I have, for example, this one I will skip because I need more. I need a little bit more meat so I can upgrade to the maximum. Don't go. The maximum is just the end game item. At the start, just sell, for example, these ones, sell the rest of them. But remember, don't put all the meat there. I will find, for example, yeah, I have this maxed out as well. 257. I know, a little bit too much, but this is what I will put. And here is the next example and next tip. Know your limits. And limits is about how much customers you can process during the night. And I know that my limit is somewhere here. 46 at my current state. You need to check at the end of the night how many customers you have, so you know how much dish you need to prepare. Why? Because every meat that will be left over, as far as I understand, it's gone. It's basically, imagine they take out from the freezer, and that's where it's basically gets spoiled if you don't process them all. So know your limits, right? I have a little bit extra, few of them will be gone, but that's fine. So next step while we are here is recognizing your employees. And by employees, I mean when you pick up, for example, this management, when you're hiring someone, look for the number that has the highest. What's the highest number they have? For example, this guy at the top seems like it will be a chef. So when you upgrade, these numbers, they grow kind of equally from the start. For example, here, 3 points in cooking, which means this guy will never ever be a chef. And it seems not even serving, so it will be procured, you know. So recognizing what they might become, especially at the start when it's expensive to train them. Yes, it's know where you, for example, see what I have done here. These two guys basically don't know nothing else, but they are absolutely the best at cooking, so they make most of it. Look at this guy. This is, I think, best I have seen, 776. Okay, it's high rank, but anyways, this was the highest for him when I hired this El Nino. So yeah, just recognize what they, and so because you will need a kitchen and dining area staff, so that's that. Next is get both bonuses. You see, I'm now displaying already unlocked both bonuses, but when you hire, you don't know what kind of skills they will have. You need to unlock to level 7, I think. This is my waiting room, and I think the 7, yeah. The 7 is already at the level 6. You can see under training what will be the second tip. So basically 6 is the minimum. And my advice is get both of them, because that allows you to basically have full potential. Otherwise, they will have the speed and all that. That's already on the display. Of course, every next level gives more, but these might change quite a lot. And why? When you have the best combo, this is how you make best out of it. For example, one thing is missing from this bottom guy. I would gladly trade Tip Master. You can choose them. You basically have the what you have. This wasabi refiller, that would be something I would change. But otherwise, I have two guys working there. They can clean, they can serve drinks, they can serve cocktails, and then if they could refill the wasabi, I could do nothing. So currently, at current state, when the sushi bar is open, I can stand in the corner, and only thing that requires from me is here the wasabi. I need to refill it, otherwise no one else can. But the rest of the dining area is covered, and oh boy, they're way faster than you, they provide faster, they pour drinks faster, they do everything faster. So basically the dining area, you're a fat guy, you're a dining day, get those best combo, and the only way how you can do it, hire those guys, unlock those two things, and then you know what's what will be the bonuses. Then need to rush forward because I need this video to be shorter, and new recipes come at level 15. I'm not going to push you to level up anyway, because any employee you level up at level 14, they will have a little marker at the corner. I was like, okay, one more bonus? No. When you upgrade, that's really expensive, to level 15, they give you extra dish. That's why I have these absolutely just some crazy things. They will require again those spices and all that things, so I will never cook them, but hey, now you know. So next we have events require unique dish. This is not something but hear me out. Sometimes in a corner you see this is this event coming up. You can see that on the calendar. Tomorrow I will have jellyfish party, and if you open up a menu, you will see there is these little pink bow ties. They mark the unique items that are considered for the party. The thing is, in that day, there will come customers, not everyone, but let's say half of them want something from jellyfish. If you don't have any item in your menu, they're not going to order anything else. So this is important. If you don't have anything to provide, you will have a lot of unsatisfied customers. So for that reason, basically, you will get every single one of the items that also requires to open a card. So you will see that. Nothing, not a big deal around it, but I would advise to still capture something somewhere. Don't throw it out, don't sell. Just that's why I have a huge list of items, because once you have this silly thing, for example, I don't have any high recipe jellyfish because they are quite cheap, and this one item, no. So you need something to provide. That's a problem. So you don't run in a bad rating or whatnot situation, right? So now you know you require those unique dishes to provide. So next is best taste is a cap. This is something also I was wondering how it works. In Cooksta, to upgrade your rank, I have all the ranks and everything, you see right from the gold, you are required to have best taste. What it works, how it works, it's simple. Every single dish has a taste rating, and you need to have push beyond 100. It's not like how many customers you serve with best dish or something. It's simple as going in the menu, just opening up and order by taste. And then, for example, you see I have it all maxed out, but in your case, you can find something that, for example, when I enhance, I will have 420. So if that's the rating I want, so that's the signal that, let's not sell these, let's capture a few more, and then I will have this upgrade and I will have taste rating. That's how taste rating is basically works in the game. The next is check shop daily. So now I need to move back quickly to the boat, show you a few things about the boat. So shop is something that opens not at the beginning, but a bit later. The same guy in the boat, the Cobra, I think that's the name. I'm not being able to now use the shop, but it opens up an option for shop. Shop is once a day, provides 3 items. Don't sleep on them. So sometimes, especially at the start when you don't have a lot of things, if, for example, he said like, hey, there's a net, steel net that captures a lot of fish and even a big fish, that's your, okay, I need to have that. Because, you can't get these items anywhere else. So sometimes, or even the same submarine, the speeds up here, it's absolutely just grab it. It costs nothing. That's the best part. It's not like taking you half a life. It's few cents. Absolutely use, and every time before you go in, just check what's in the shop so you can see what you can capture additionally. Now, the last before the spoilers, we are going. Two more points. We are safe now. Is prepare for the bosses. Sometimes there are guy arriving and saying like, check the vortex or check the some hole or something. There will be boss in there. There will quite a lot bosses in here. So what I'm just hear me out. For example, I'm running around with dart gun. For example, if the guy arrives and I'm going to find this vortex, prepare for the bosses. For example, in my case, of course, I want to swap to something triple X, for example. That's one thing, but also you will have these charms. For example, I have this absolutely the best. I'm advising always have the Delphin necklace. You will get it. Once you dash all the time it's faster. But this one, increase the amount of mineral. I will be fighting boss. There's no mineral whatsoever. So for example, this thing, mostly they come from side quests. This will make a way better choice. Reduce the damage taken. So this is how you prepare when you have a feeling you will be fighting a boss or something like that. There is quite a lot of them, but just be prepared. Don't run with tranquilizing gun to the boss because you can't tranquilize boss. Trust me. Next tip and the last one before we are running is quests. Sometimes when you are underwater, just I don't know, this to save some frustration maybe, that you will be frustrated. When you proceed the quest, you sometimes think, okay, when you finish the quest, I will capture a few fish in my backpack and then go to the boat. Sometimes it happened like you are doing the quest and when you give in, basically you arrive at conversation. The conversation closes and you are being thrown to the boat, which is annoying because if you haven't captured anything, while you're on a mission or exploring, you basically wasted half of your day without nothing. So my advice is always, in a way, while you are doing something, capture or still pick up those things so you have something. Otherwise you come back, you are being thrown out, the day processes, and you're like, oh, I don't have anything to sell at the sushi bar because I was thrown to the boat. So that's the last part of non-spoiling things. Spoiler warnings, next things will be about and around things that are later in the game. So if you want to avoid any reveals, this is the point to stop the video. Thank you for watching. Let's move on. But those who stay, let's see what we have. Tip number 25. It's quite, well, stupid to say like this, but upgrade, go for the box and go for the air. These are the two things, main things that basically give you the most of for the game. Why? Because the box is something, it's basically right here, and you will understand why this is in the spoiler area, because at the start you don't have such an items and you basically now know a lot more. The cargo box is how much you can bring back. Now if you realize everything you heard, you go for the high ranking fish, a lot of meat, you sell that later, highest dish. The bigger box you have, the more money you can make per day, per run, and the more you can get money, the more you can upgrade the rest of the. So this is priority number one. But in the same time, air is right next to neck. Why? Because that's how long the bigger box you will have, the more time you will spend underwater, for what you will need to dive, and if you dash all the time, you will have the time. And of course, when you go for high rank fish, most of them are sharks and they will attack you. This is also how you survive. Remember, air is the timer underwater and also your health bar. When you're attacked, you get the idea. But why there is a drone? There is a drone mentioned in a sidebar. It's basically off the limits. There are only 2 upgrades. Once you unlock it, you can upgrade once or twice. This is the only way how you can capture big fish. Those same big fish you see underwater, the sharks and everything, without salvage drone, you can't bring it back alive. Remember, this is the biggest meat generator you have. Of course, you can shoot it down and capture the 2-star, but this is the salvage drone, and it's in the brackets because it's actually above everything else. While you're doing the game, this is the only way how to capture absolutely the big fish. And yeah, the fastest you upgrade to the level 3, the most you will get out of it, and only then the cargo on air will come in play. But until you don't have this unlocked, you don't have to worry, so go for cargo on air. Rest of them, that's especially when you capture them alive, this harpoon gun actually gives you a problem because you have so high damage that all of the fish just die instantly. You can't trigger the tranquilizing effect from tranquilizing harpoon, no? So, but that's out of the way. I need to move forward, a few more things, and tranquilizing gun and rifle. Why I mentioned both of them? Right here, I already showed you, you have a tranquilizing gun. At the start, it's absolute garbage. 3 magazine, and you can only put in a sleep small fish, because bigger fish, just like, I don't care about that. Until the point where, once you have the upgrades, I'm just showing you, now you have bigger magazine, now you have even bigger magazine. The latest upgrade actually allows you to put any size of the fish in a sleep. You need to shoot it twice, and now you have 7 magazines. So absolutely, basically you don't depend on the tranquilizing harpoon to find it, because sometimes you don't find it, just don't, you can't capture anything alive. Then this is the thing, this is the second, basically the best thing, but it's so late in the game, so you don't have access to this as much. That's where rifle comes in. As soon as you unlock upgrades, you will find, and my advice is get this thing instead. This is the second best right after tranquilizing gun. Default rifle can be upgraded with better rifle, but you can have this effect. So this is exactly the same principle as a harpoon, but with ammo. So you're shooting a rifle that does damage quite high. Well, 30 damage, it's quite high, but it has a 40% chance to tranquilize the fish, which means this weapon you can build quite fast. You just need cuttlefish skin. Yes, that's the cuttlefish are the ones that the spray tint out when you approach them. So this is the gun until you unlock proper tranquilizing gun, how you capture big fish. Because the small tranquilizing gun can do nothing, but this one, you just shoot at big fish, they have a lot of health, and you wait for these 40% to trigger. Once they're asleep, you rush towards and call your drone and capture it alive. That's how I captured half of all the sea creatures. Then I unlocked the tranquilizing gun latest upgrade, then I captured the rest of them. This is the way how to do it. Of course, you can also capture the small fish, but remember, if the fish has only 30 damage and you shoot with this, it will die. It will be worst possible scenario, not alive. But if the trigger happens and they have more HP pool, yes, that's how you can capture. Need to move forward and upgrading watering can. I think, yeah, I need to rush now a little bit to here. Later in the game, it's also under the spoilers, is where you find a farm. You are introduced to farm, absolutely annoying as fuck, because at the start you have watering can. Fast forward tip is upgrade is as soon as possible, because you see the latest stage, it automatically just waters everything. Absolutely amazing. The first, I think 2 or 3 upgrades is before. It's quite expensive, but at that time when farm was introduced to me, I had already shit ton of money, so just pour it so you don't have to worry about the can. Absolutely worth it. And next is every time from morning, afternoon and night, those 3 cycles, there sometimes pop up the message says, oh, you have 1 pest there, oh, there's 1 harvestable item. Ignore them, just ignore them. I have this habit where once a day in the morning I have a routine going to the farm and then never coming back, only next morning. Otherwise, you turn this game into really just farming simulator. It's annoying as hell. You don't want to do that. Just once a day, it's fine. Just trust me. Second thing you will unlock later on is this fishing farm, which again, this is how my basically daily routine looks like. Fish also reproduce once a day, so there's no reason to come back twice a day. So in the morning, I check my farm, check my fishing farm, and then go exploring and missions and all that. That's basically how I advise to do it. But the tip here is for fish farm is always buy the new reservoir. I made this mistake too many times. Is how to explain? You see these depths. Whenever you proceed in a game, you will go deeper underwater or find new ways or start fishing in the night. That's also a thing. Once you see like, oh, it's a new region, you don't have this reservoir yet. If you start capturing some fish and thinking, oh, because you need to capture them alive, well, not necessarily, but advisable to get them for breeding. See, these eggs are mostly coming from the fish once you capture it, but also when the harpoon gun actually works. The thing is, once you unlock the new area, you first need to purchase this. It's not given you automatically. So if you capture all those fish thinking you will have them in the reservoir, no. You first come back, purchase this stupid reservoir, and only then start capturing the fish. I made the mistake, I think, for every single one of them, which I'm like, again. So this is a bit frustrating, but yeah, I hope you don't run in the same issue that I did. And one last thing is here also, my advice, in these depths, you have a lot fish available. For example, this is the first tank to absolutely the depth. And my advice is, of course, check the fish. When you open them up, you see this is the 9 rank fish, the ones that are really nasty. rest of them you don't need. So basically, as you are selling only the top price items, the top rank items, they are basically the same. The smaller rank fish, you can get rid of them. So you don't, for example, I have 8 rank 8 marlin. There's no chance I will be selling it because it's too low rank. That's why only 2 of them left. So they are there, they will reproduce, but mostly I'm pushing for shark because that's the highest. Good example is here. Nothing else. There's a lot of fish I can breed in here, but I'm like, nah, I just pick the highest rank I can have. And the more you have them, that's why this word lot is there. The more you have them, the more they will reproduce per day. Obviously, if there's only 2, you have a chance to have a third after a day. But if you have 28, you know, next day you come back, they're like, we made 5 new, you know. And basically, yes, later in the game you can have a lot of high rank fish if you have captured at least 2 of them to provide for the sushi bar. And that's it. That's how you make extra money, extra fish without any hustle. And I am out of the tips. This was the last 31 bonus squeezed in for you guys. And this was 30 tips and tricks for Dave. If you have any other questions or any other tips you found useful, drop down in the comment section. There are always some precious things I just missed, so from you guys. And I hope you now experience Dave the diver way better, way more awesome than I did, and I hope the gameplay is awesome for you guys. As always, we'll meet in other videos, and happy hunting!